Bro, it's crazy, bro. Like, you really gotta believe, like, you know, it's crazy. People really, maybe you're not meant to be like them, bro. Like, maybe you're meant to be your own type of person, have your own swag, like, have your own lane. Like, I know a lot of people like to see, something lit for somebody else, and then they want to hop on it and then try to copy it. Like, people have been doing that for way too long, chosen one. They've been copying you and trying to be like you, and it been getting you so confused. But you could never be like them. You remember everybody had their own little swag, their own little lingo. Everybody was so original. And then out of nowhere, I don't know how it happened, they just start copying it wrong. Doing it wrong, not even innovating it when they copy it. They just copy it and just kill it. Mess it all up. Everything you do, chosen one. And you always went the opposite way. It's not that you didn't like these people, but they would never source it. They would never, credit the swag where they got it from. But that's how you knew they wasn't like you. Because at least you would tell everybody, if you got a new crossover, you'd be like, hey, I got that from Hot Sauce, or I got it from Pistol Pete, or whatever you got it from. But these people always been imitating you since a child, bro. And that's why you had to move different states. You moved away because you wanted to see if people were different somewhere else. And they actually were. People were actually different. And they had more love for each other. One. It was fun. But then you end up moving to another state because you just conquered, you turned to a state mover. Been able to start your own foundation. See, chosen one, that was your first test. That was your first, leap of faith. That's the first time that you learned that you had the inner compass. You didn't know what it really was. You just, listened to a quiet whisper in your soul, and you just kept following it. And it just kept taking you to fun places. But if you told somebody, or if you asked somebody, should you do this, should you do that, they probably would convince you not to do it, but you did it anyway because you just, something in your heart told you, this is the way to go. And it always took you somewhere far. So then, you didn't understand, you didn't even know that you were walking into how you say it when you join a gang, initiation. See, you already been through, crazy childhood. Your childhood was crazy. You've been through what you've been through, junk rob, all type of losses, deaths in the family, all type, you've been through everything. You know what I'm saying? So you finally got to move away from all the violence and the hate and find a new form of love in yourself without even knowing it, being on the road, traveling different states on your own. God is with you. And next thing you know, you started coming to adversity. It wasn't really financial adversity, like car trouble at first, things like that, but then you was so good of a discernment. See, these little tests right here, like the car trouble things and like, the apartment finding or house finding thing, these were tests of faith, but you were so determined, your focus. This was like a test of your focus. This was like a test for you for when you get older. You could look and have flashbacks that will build you back up when he takes you through the real fire. That's why you had to have these like midlife wins where you had achieved a lot of crazy wins. So, be grateful about that, chosen one. Give yourself some credit, chosen one. You've been through a lot. You've been through a lot. So what happened was, you end up being in, miserable situations, and you almost a testimony that God still does supernatural miracles through people, because people tried to humiliate you and poison you and do things to you while you were out there on the road, chosen one. And God didn't forget that. And the way you handle these humiliation rituals, these crazy type of NDEs, these type of experiences that you had, you did it like a pro, like a champ, like you were an ancient celestial being, like you walked this earth before. How did you do that? And you walked through it with no fear. See, these people, when they came as agents, they came with one purpose, period. See, there's people in your bloodline that had a lot of fear, that let a lot of things get under their skin, and they let it shake them. They let it rattle them. They let it rattle them so much that they denied decisions, and they didn't accept opportunities that was for their family, that would have gave them the breakthrough financially, or gave them the breakthrough fruitfully with the children or whatever like that. They did not make the correct decisions because of fear. And you was tested through anonymous, venomous, and you was victorious through all your tests of fear and humiliation. They humiliated you so, so, so bad. Especially with the honey traps that you were with. They made you look crazy in the neighborhood. It made you look stupid in front of everybody. But you never cared. You never let it get to your heart. And that is what made heaven had to favor you. That is where you earned your chosen one stripes. That is where they said, hey, we have one here. And you never talked down on God. You always said, it's going to be a way. I know everything's going to work out. It always worked out at the end. And you really stood on that, and you believed that. And the people that you were struggling with, you made them believe that too. And that's why y'all was always straight. How are you getting apartments for that cheap? You were getting apartments for like $400, 3 bedrooms in different states. You were moving. You were doing this. You was able to get gas for years for free. You were meeting people, crazy type of people who were helping you, angels helping you along the way. And people were hating on you so bad because they didn't understand how you were getting all these miracles happen to you on a daily. But they would see you struggling. They would see you out there trying to go get it. They would see you in the cut. They would bump into you. But they would be so surprised. Because every day you'd be shining and you would figure out a way. But then, they tried to test you. And they tried to test you. Because they didn't understand where you was getting this confidence from. Because every day, is it the females? Is it the bros? Is it the money? They don't understand, chosen one. They didn't understand that it was your relationship with God. But the entities of them knew what it was. That's why you went through so many things. You remember that time when you flashed that money one time? and you thought the hood was gonna be proud of you, and God intercepted those people that tried to rob you, and you didn't even know they were trying to rob you until afterwards. And he took your bad habit, because you used to be a thief and you went and stole something, and someone thought it was something that it wasn't, and then when they see him try to pull up, it didn't happen because they were scared because they thought it was something that it wasn't or not. And then you realize what just happened, and you was like, dang, that was God that saved me like that. But then the thing that you realized too, that you repented and you were sorry. There's no excuses if you broke. But I understand. I guess when you was broke and you had to do what you had to do, you made sure you repented. So you found other ways out instead. And you stayed down and you figured it out. And that was step one. Yeah, you get grace and mercy when you on E, but you still gotta figure it out, bro. You still gotta hold the rep. There's no excuse. He gonna give you a chance. I'm telling you, things gonna come out the blue, but you gotta stay down. Those addictions, bro, just keep looking in the fire, bro. The fire gonna purify your heart, bro. Gonna purify your identity, bro. Just keep doing it, bro. Just keep standing down. Keep trying to resist every single day, bro. Keep speaking into existence, bro. Just don't give up, man. Hey, man, like, share, subscribe, man. I hope somebody feel this and can relate to this, man, and get on their feet, man. Straight up. Oh, yeah. And I got the, if you need somebody to talk to, man, if you need a strategy, if you're going through some situations, you know, man, I've been through it all, man. So if you need some help, man, book a call with me. I'm going to put the link in the description. Peace. Soul Surge, yeah.